Hi, welcome to part 5 of BSc and ISO 9712 presentation. So, we have already seen up to part 4. So, in the part 5, we will be discussing about the examination part. So, the qualification examination for level 1, level 2, how many number of questions for general, specific, and what is the practical, how much time is given for each examination, etc. So, the qualification examination shall cover a given entity method as applied either in one industrial sector or one or more product sectors. So product sectors can be like welds, casting, forging. Industrial sectors can be like pre and in service, including manufacturing, etc. The certification body shall define and publish maximum amount of time allowed for the candidate to complete each examination, which shall be based on the number and difficulty of the question. So based on the number of the questions, so the time will be decided. The average time allowed for questions requiring narrative answers shall be determined by the certification body. So narrative answers exactly for level 2, they will be writing the written instruction for level 1. And for level 3, they will be writing the procedure. Those are all narrative, answers they will be writing. So the time has to be determined by the certification body. The general examination shall include only questions selected in an unpredictable way from the certification bodies or authorized qualification bodies collection of general examination questions valid at the date of examination. The candidate shall be required as a minimum to give answers to number of multiple choice questions as shown in the table. For example, if you considered RT, UT, eddy current, thermography, acoustic emission, the number of questions in the general paper would be 40 questions. Suppose if you consider the leak testing, magnetic particle penetrant testing, strain gauge testing, or visual testing, the number of questions would be 30 questions. So where not otherwise addressed by any national regulations, there shall be an additional examination on radiation safety for the RT. So examinations on radiographic test method may include either X-ray or gamma ray or both, depending on the procedure of the certification body. When we come to specific, so it shall include only questions selected from the certification body or AQB's current collection of specific questions related to the sectors concerned. During the specific examination, the candidate shall be required to give answer to at least 20 multiple choice questions, which may include calculations or any procedure based questions, standard related questions, course related questions, etc. Yes, if the candidate is going to cover 2 or more sectors in the specific examinations, then the number of questions he has to attend, he or she shall attend at least 30 questions, which is evenly spread between the industrial or product sectors concerned. So in the annexure here, you will be able to get all those details. Now comes the practical examination. The practical examination shall involve applying the test to prescribed specimens, recording the resulting information to the degree required. Then you have to report the results in the required format. Specimens used for training purpose shall not be used for examination. Very important point to remember. The specimens which has been used for training purpose will never be used for the examination. So each specimen shall be uniquely identified and they will have a master report which includes all your equipment settings to detect the specified discontinuities, which shall be uniquely identified by permanent marking to ensure it is completely traceable. So such marking shall not interfere with the testing or inspection of specimen from the candidate while the specimen is being used for the examination. In case if any marking is there, it should be concealed or hide from the candidate when the specimen is taking the examination. Again, this is again left to the certification body. The master report will be there. So at least 2 independent tests will be done and it will be validated by a level 3 certificate. So this is to ensure that the candidate is not penalized in any way. So 3 people will be doing the inspection when the master is being done. So the independent test reports from which the master report is complied shall be retained for records. Specimens, again, it shall be sector specific. Suppose a person is going for welding examination, the specimens will be welding. Suppose the guy goes for casting, it will be the casting. simulating the field geometries, and it shall contain discontinuities representative. So it has to be like a representative which is occur during manufacture or in service. So there may be natural or artificial or implanted. For level 2 evaluation, either data sets or film can be used instead of real specimen. Any artificial things can be given for assessment. Specimens used for calibration or for measurement tasks do not need to contain discontinuities. For RT, especially for radiography testing, the specimen need not contain any discontinuities since these are exhibited in the radiograph for interpretation. Because when you take the radiography testing examination, so it will have a general paper, it will have a specific paper, then the person has to shoot for 2 specimens. If it is an individual product sector, for example, welding sector, the specimen has to shoot 2 specimens. So those specimens need not contain any defects because the person is again examined for 12 radiographs of interpretation. So hence, it is not necessary the RT specimens shall contain any discontinuities, and the interpretation also does not carry any marks in the specimens which has been shot. Similarly, for thermography, strain gauge, it need not contain discontinuity since these are exhibited in the data sets. So you will be given a data sets for interpretation. Certification body shall ensure that number of areas and volume to be tested to the particular level, method, sector concerned. The requirements are again given in the annexure B. So the level 1 candidate shall follow the written instruction provided by the examiner. So level 1, what he exactly does, he has to follow the instructions given by the supervisor. So similar way, the level 1 candidate, when he is taking the examination, an NDT instruction will be given to him. So he has to strictly follow the instruction and do the practical. Whereas the level 2 candidate shall select the applicable technique and determine the conditions related to the given code, standard or specification. For those examinations where discontinuities are normally replaced by artificial sources of data, for example, data sets, the level 1 candidate shall demonstrate the ability to set up and calibrate, verify the sensitivity and record the data. Whereas the level 2 shall demonstrate the ability to interpret and evaluate the previously recorded test data. Now comes the time. The time allowed for examination again depends on number of specimen and their complexity. The average, however, the average time shall be defined by the CB, certification body. So the recommended maximum time allowed for each area or volume to be tested for level 1 is doing the practical. So 2 hours per specimen or the per area or volume to be tested. For level 2, it will be 3 hours. For level 2 candidates, so in addition to doing the practical, they have to draft a written instruction for a level 1 for suitable for level 1 personnel for the specimen selected by the examiner. So the maximum time allowed for this is 2 hours. So grading, so to be eligible for certification, the candidate shall obtain a minimum grade of 70% in each part of examination. That means general 70%, specific 70% and practical 70%. So in addition, for the practical, a minimum grade 70 shall be obtained for each specimen and the written instruction. So suppose a guy has to take 2 specimens, in each specimen he has to take 70%, and also in the written instruction he has to score 70% in order for the eligibility to pass the practical examination. All candidates for level 3 certification in any NDT method shall have successfully completed the practical examination greater than 70% in the relevant sector and method except for drafting. Suppose a guy who comes directly to take the level 3 exam when he satisfies the experience requirements and training requirements. So that guy, he need not write the written instruction. The reason behind this, in the level 3 examination, he would be writing a procedure. So he will be exempted from writing the written instruction at the level 2. So the exemption is only valid for the product sector covered by the sectors concerned. So which sector he is going to write, only the exemption is the particular provided in that sector. Now when you come to the level 3, so the level 3 guys has to pass a basic examination, which is mandatory, which is a one-time examination. So it shall assess the candidate knowledge of basic subjects, at least the number of multiple choice questions. It is shown in the table 6. The examination questions shall be selected in an unpredictable way from the current collection of questions approved by the CB at the time of examination. So if you see this, the basic will have 3 parts: part A, part B, and part C. Part A will cover the material science and process technology, which will have 25 questions. Part B is based on ISO 9712 standard. So it may be an open book examination. So you will be given 10 questions, and it is you have to refer the standard and answer the 10 questions. Part C will have, you have to appear for at least 4 methods, out of which one should be volumetric. So either UT or RT should be there. So each method you will be given 15 questions. In total 60 questions will be there. So the basic examination will consist of part A, part B, and part C. A candidate holding a valid level 3 certificate is exempt from need to retake the basic examination. So in case if the candidate is already having a level 3 certificate, that means he has already finished the basic examination. So he need not retake the basic examination again. Now, when it comes to main method, so the main method examination consists of again 3 parts: part D, part E, part F. So part D is method, so it will have 30 questions in the related entity method and sector concern. Part E, it can include the code, standard specification, procedures, and the related to the specific related to the particular sector, 20 questions. Part F will be basically a procedure writing. So either you will be given a specimen, you have to draft the procedure as per the requirements of code, standard, and specification. In case for a candidate who has already drafted a procedure is successfully passed level 3, certification body may replace the drafting of the procedure with analysis covering the relevant method or sector concerned. Now comes to grading. So it has to be done separately. So for 3 parts: A, B, C, and A, B, and C, D, E, and F. So you need to score 70% in each part. So it is mandatory to score 70% each part to pass the basic examination. Same way, you need to score 70% in each part of main method examination, which is D, E, and F. So all examinations shall be conducted in examination centers established, approved, and monitored by the CB either directly or through authorized qualification body. At the examination, the candidate shall have in possession of valid proof of identification, official notification of the examination, which shall be shown to the examiner on invigilator upon demand. Any candidate who during the course of examination does not abide by the examination rules or any fraudulent conduct shall be excluded from all the further qualification examinations for at least for a period of 1 year. Examination questions shall be validated by the CB. When conventional pre-prepared paper-based examination are used, the examination paper shall be validated and approved by the examiner. Grading shall be done in accordance with the procedures approved by the CB. Suppose in case online assessment, e-assessment, select questions, present the written examination to a candidate on a computer, and grade the examinations are used. Certification body shall validate and approve this e-assessment system. Written, whether e-assessment or conventional, and practical qualification examination shall be invigilated by an examiner or by one or more trained invigilators placed under the examiner's responsibility. An examiner shall not be permitted to examine any candidate that he has trained for the examination for the period of 2 years. Suppose a person is getting trained by a trainer, he can never be an examination for this method or the sector the person who has trained. So that is the reason they have put, so the examiner shall not be permitted to examine any candidate who was trained for the examination for the period of 2 years from the date of conclusion of the training activity. So this examiner will be never be trained for him or examined for him for the period of 2 years. And again, the examiner shall not be permitted to examine any candidate who is working permanently or temporarily in the same facility as the examiner. Suppose a person is working there, then that person cannot be examined by the examiner who is working in the same facility. With the approval of the CB, a candidate for a practical examination, he may use his own equipment. Candidate shall not be permitted to bring into examination area personal items unless authorized by the examiner. Re-examination. A candidate failing for reasons of unethical behavior, any fraudulent behavior, shall wait at least 2 months, at least 12 months before reapplying. That means 1 year he has to wait before reapplying. A candidate who fails to obtain pass grade for any examination part may be re-examined twice in the failed parts, provided the re-examination takes place not sooner than 1 month. Suppose that the guy has failed, he has to wait at least 1 month, then he has to go for the re-examination. In case he wanted to do it before, then he has to be further trained, and certification body should be satisfactorily accept that training. And whatever may be the re-examination, he cannot take after 2 years after the original examination. So re-examination shall be taken between 1 month and 2 years, and he can take two re-examinations. It is allowed. So examination parts in the contest refers to level 1 and level 2, general, specific and practical. For level 3 means A, B, C, D, E and F. The candidate failing all re-examination permitted shall apply for take the examination in accordance with the procedure established for the new candidates. For example, one of the candidate, he failed in one part, maybe in the general paper, then again he reappears, again he failed in general, then again the second re-examination. So total 3 examinations he has done, all the 3 he failed, then he is not eligible for any more re-examination. He has to come and sit as a new candidate. That means he has to take the full examination. Certified level 1 and level 2 individual changing sectors. That means I want to change from welding sector to casting sector. Then he has to take only the specific examination and practical examination. The general examination is exempted for level 1 or level 2. Suppose if you same case you consider for level 3, so he is exempt from retaking the basic examination and also the part D of level 3. So the guy has to take only the part E, which is specific, and part F, procedure writing, if he is changing the sector from, for example, from welding to casting sector. So thank you very much. So we will be again seeing in our next part, which is the last part. So thanks for the patience listening. So in case you like, so kindly like and subscribe the this channel. So we will be we have already, there was a long gap, so however we restarted this, so we will be sharing the lot of technical information again without leaving much gap. So thank you very much.